Hi, everybody. Welcome to the next episode of the RHIA Rapid series. And today we're going to be focusing on Domain 5. So the question reads, the leader of the coding performance improvement team wants all team members to clearly understand the coding process. What tool could help accomplish this objective? To be able to answer this question, you have to be able to first identify how each tool and the answer choices work. And you also need to be aware of exactly what the team is trying to understand. So in the question, the first sentence actually, it reads that the team is trying to understand the coding process. So the key word here is going to be process. We want to pick an answer choice that is going to clearly show someone a process. So let's go ahead and look at these tools. A is flowchart. So what does a flowchart do? A flowchart is something that is used to break down a process from beginning to end. Often in the health IT field, when you are dealing with a flowchart, you're normally thinking about some type of workflow. So if I were a nurse that just started at a brand new job and I needed to understand my day-to-day activities, a flowchart could show me the process that I would need to take to accomplish my job. If I were implementing a brand new software into a company, and I needed to be able to demonstrate to the team members of that company how my software would be incorporated into their practice, then a flowchart would be able to show that process from beginning to end. B, force field analysis. A force field analysis is something that will allow you to list the pros and cons of making a particular decision. But the benefit of a force field analysis is that you're able to see the things that matter the most on the pro versus the con side of a particular activity. So let's say, for example, that I was trying to decide whether or not I should take my RHIA. The pros could be, I can make more money, I have a more impressive resume, and I have the opportunity to teach at an institution. And the cons could possibly be, I have to spend a lot more money. There's a risk that I may not pass the exam. And it's just, I could be doing something else just with my time, right? So I then will go from a scale of 1 to 5, and I would take each pro and each con and assign it a number based on the importance. And from there, whichever number or total number that is higher on each side would help me decipher whether or not I should or should not take the RHIA. Okay, so that is a force field analysis. It's not just making a pro and con list, but you're able to identify just how important each pro or con that you list is. A Pareto table is used to show defects or errors within an organization. The benefit of using a Pareto table is that someone can easily look at this graph and see what the biggest defect is within an organization. For example, if a car company wanted to demonstrate what the highest defects were with their vehicles, then they could, for example, have a graph that starts off with the highest issue, which could be transmissions, have that be 15, and then go on down to 10 for tire issues, 5 for seatbelt issues, 1 for gas tank. And so as the viewer of this graph, I would be able to easily recognize that the transmission was the biggest issue, and then the one that is showing as 1 would be the smallest issue. And then a scatter diagram is a chart that would show the relationship between variables, an independent and a dependent variable. So looking at all of these different examples and breaking them down, the question is, which tool should I use to clearly understand the coding process? So after breaking all of that information down, the best answer here would be A, flowchart. Now, next steps, what do you do at this point? If you were unaware about what any one of these charts or tools are, then your job is to look them up. They're found in your textbook. If they're not in your textbook, then Google them. But you want to be sure that you're able to explain and understand how to use each one of these tools. You also want to be able to break down and understand, or rather identify, what the question is asking you in order to pick the correct tool. I hope that was helpful. Keep on studying, and I will see you guys on the next RHIA Rapid.